What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout Spot, where you already know it's Real Talk Boxing Talk, live from my man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and today I have a very, very special guest from the professional ranks. In fact, this Friday night, this young lightweight, sensational fourth round knockout with a vicious liver shot over a tough opponent at Caribbean Royale Orlando in the MVP Prospects card that I was lucky enough to be ringside for. He is 24 years old. He has a professional record of 12-0 with 9 knockouts. Bright future ahead of him. But without further ado, I want to introduce my man, lightweight prospect Sean the Untouchable Mason. My brother, what's going on? Welcome to the Hangout Spot.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. It's a pleasure to have you, man. It's a pleasure to have you here. You know, I was oh man, listen, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You were gracious enough to talk to me after your performance. We took a picture together, and I think I told you right after that, if it wasn't for my boy John Paul Rivera with that late round stoppage, man, you would have definitely nailed performance of the night. In fact, I think you might. I think you should have probably gotten a cut of that $5,000 check, maybe even half of it, man. For real, man. That was an impressive knockout, man. And again, you went up against a guy who was pretty tough. Coming into the fight, he was 8-1 with 4 knockouts. I believe his name was Thomas Guillemette. And you just broke him down with pinpoint precision, man. And, you know, one of the things that I noticed about your fighting style, which impresses me a lot, is you're very, very patient. You're a thinker in the ring. You're almost like a scientist, right? And you pick and choose your shots. You have great placement in your shots. You're efficient. You don't waste any punches. And that is the sign of a future champion. And you're also a vicious body puncher. Dude, was that one of the best liver shots you ever landed in a fight?
And since being in the pros, that's been the best body shot I ever landed.
Pinpoint, man. It was just pinpoint.
That was on the money. Like it don't get no crispy. I've seen photos and you literally see like his elbow, like my punch went right on his elbow and like just money shot. Like
insane. You couldn't have drawn it up any better than that. Like I said, those are the type of punches and true boxing fans know that just take the life out of you, you know, as an opponent. You just can't get up. You just can't get up. But like I said, man, you know, great performance. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You're young, you're up and coming, you're undefeated. You are going to be a major problem in the lightweight division, correct? Right. So the thing that kind of impresses me the most that I wanted to get your take on is you're 12-0, 9 knockouts, right? You turned professional in 2019, but you've done that with only 5 amateur fights. How did that happen, man? I mean, because usually, like I said, with the way you fight and the way you move, you would think that you have more of an extensive amateur background. Did you get started boxing late?
So I've been boxing since 12, but like I have never been like 100% consistently boxing year for year, because when I first started boxing, I had another coach which was in the hood, and they wasn't taking us to travel nowhere. They wasn't taking us to fight. So that's one of the reasons why I only have the amount of amateur fights that I have now, is because my first coach didn't take us nowhere. And then my second coach, which is Josue, that y'all seen at the fights, my last fight, that's my current coach. When I started training with him, he doesn't train amateurs, but he heard good things about me, so he decided to take me under his wing and teach me the things as a professional, because all he trains is professionals. So we did 2 amateur fights together, only 2. My first one I lost, because that's when I just got training from the other coach and started training with him, and I wasn't in the best shape, and I was still developing. I just wasn't in the best performance. Then my second fight with Josue, we lost that fight, but it was a robbery. So the person who I fought was Lamo, and I outboxed him. Like it was a one-sided fight. I landed body shots, headshots. He didn't hit me at all, and they robbed me from that fight. And ever since then, I told coach, I said I no longer want to do the amateurs no more. Let's just focus on my pro style. Like let's build our pro style. That's you only want to train pros. Well, let's make me a pro, because I don't do amateurs no more. And from that day on, that was 2016. From 2016 all the way to 2019, I was only working on training a pro style. No more amateur fights after that. So I've been out the ring that whole time, just training and sparring.
Super impressive, man. Super impressive. And you say your coach Josue, right? He trains, I believe he trains Tevin Farmer, right?
No. Tevin Farmer, So the other person that y'all seen in my corner was Chino. Chino trains Tevin Farmer,
Chino.
Josue.
Okay.
Yeah, Chino trains Tevin Farmer. My coach is the one that was when I come back to the corner, he was the one to give me the water bottle and things like that.
Got you.
I had two head coaches working together in my corner that day.
Well, that's what I mean, because I mean Chino trains Tevin Farmer, that I do know. So I thought maybe he was your head trainer when I saw him in the corner.
No,
so you got a double.
He would be a co-trainer.
Got you, but you got a double dose of excellent experience in your corner, man. Which
I got over 100 years of experience.
That's insane, man. That's insane. With the style that I said that you have, who would you say that you resemble stylistically?
It's kind of for me. I always tell everybody. I'm probably gonna say his last name wrong, but Robert Duran, and I say him, but realistically, it really depends on the person who I'm fighting. Like if I'm fighting somebody that's like super aggressive, I have to switch up my style and be like more of a boxer, like Floyd. If I'm fighting somebody that doesn't come forward but wants to keep it in the middle of the ring, I could do like more like a Terrence Crawford and just like a boxer puncher. Or if somebody who likes to move backwards, I just walk them down like Tank. So it really depends on who I'm fighting. But if I had to choose a style overall, I would say Robert Duran. Like I like his style. I like the mean style where you just bullying people and just making them look bad. I like that the most. I don't like the boxing too much. I like to hit people and hurt people.
Yeah, you throw with a lot of conviction. I saw that in this fight. Like again, you don't waste any punches, but the punches that you do throw are with conviction, and they have good placement. Are those the fighters that inspired you to become a fighter? Like, is that something that you wanted to do at a very? I know that you said that you were boxing when you were young, but was that your first true love in sports, boxing?
No, so my first love, the first sport that I loved was football. Like I was very good in defense, and as y'all see now, I go by untouchable in the ring defense. But it was football first. But the reason why I got into boxing, like what inspired me to get in boxing, one, like my dad used to box, so that played a role. And then I also like I used to street fight a lot, but not because like I used to just fight, but like I didn't like bullies. Like a lot of people would bully other people in school, and I would just tell people like if this guy bullies you again, tell him that you're my cousin. And from there, if they keep messing with them, I would fight them. I don't like bullies. Yeah,
That's
so
real.
that's what really got me into boxing. Was just so much fighting. I was like, we need to throw him in the boxing ring.
That's real, man. That's actually very, very real. Yeah, that's what's up. I like that. After a performance like this, how long does it take for you to just get some rest before you're back in the gym? Because to be honest with you, I mean, it was pretty easy work.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like you need a lot of time to recover.
Yeah. So typically I'll do like a week out the ring. For this fight, the only reason I'm doing a week for this fight only because prior to this fight, I was doing like another combat league fighting, this TCL. I've been in basically I had a 3-month training camp. I've been training since January. Actually, no, January, February, March, April, May, June. I had like a 6 months training camp, 5-month training camp from doing the TCL thing. It's 10 weeks, but they extended it. So all that time I didn't get no rest. You know what I'm saying? So now after this fight, I'm finally able to get some actual rest. So that's the only reason why I'm taking a week off. But if I had a regular training camp and I didn't do the TCL thing, then I probably wouldn't take no days. I'd probably be in the gym this week after a fight like that. Because I didn't take no punches. I didn't take no punishment. I'm not sore, nothing. I'm just ready to go.
I hear that. And you
This
fight
is only a 2-week training camp.
really?
This fight only did 2-week training camp because once I got done with the TCL thing, I had to take a week off to let my body do a little recovering so I could get back into camp. And I did like a full 2-week training camp for this. And that was only 2 weeks. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And you fight, do you fight under the Box Lab promotional banner?
Yes.
Got you. Shout out to Box Lab Promotions, man. Those are my peoples, man. Shout out to them. I see it. I see you, champ. I need one of those. I need one of those crispy shirts. I got to hit up Box Lab for one of those, man. Yeah. But so when do you see yourself back in the ring? Do you want to stay busy? Do you see yourself back in the ring before the year is out?
We're planning everything right now, but I should be back in the ring either 1 to 2 more times before this year is over. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Definitely one more time, but I'm planning to get 2 or if I get 3, amazing. But definitely, I'll be back in the ring one more time.
Wow. And more than likely, I would assume it'd be back at Caribbean Royale because you fought at Caribbean Royale at least 5 or 6 times. That's got to be your home. Caribbean Royale is your adopted home because you're from Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably minutes from your house as well, which is pretty convenient. Do you train in Florida as well?
Yeah.
Have you ever considered training outside of Florida or doing something, or is Florida your base home and that's where you're going to be doing the majority of your training?
I like growing, and the only way you grow is actually leaving your environment. So I wouldn't mind training elsewhere. If the opportunity was there, I would love to train somewhere else.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because a lot of fighters do say that sometimes it's a good idea to get out of their comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
for distractions and stuff. But you seem like you're pretty focused anyway. You fight at 135 now.
Mm-hmm.
How comfortable are you making that weight? Are you good at that weight? Do you see
Oh, that's
yourself fighting
nothing.
at this division for a while?
I'm really supposed to be fighting at like 130, 130 to 126 for real. But I fight at 135, and people always ask me like the guys who I'm fighting at 135 are actually pretty big. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just my punching power allows me to fight at that weight class because the guys who I'm fighting are coming from 150 and 140 to fight at 135. So I really should be fighting at 130, but to make 135 is literally me using the bathroom one time and I'm at 135.
Really?
Like I walk around 138.
That was going to be my next question. What do you walk around at? So yeah, so that's not a significant. I mean, that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty easy as fly. Plus, another reason why I asked you that is because you're tall. You're 5'9". So you probably will have the ability as you get older to be able to fill out and probably move up in weight as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you still got time for that. We're not rushing you with that. I mean, you're 24 years old. You got time, and you're in one of the hottest divisions in boxing right now, which we'll get into in a second. But when you spar, do you usually spar? Is it common for you to spar with bigger guys? Because I know you mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm. So the way I do my sparring is I'll spar somebody that's super fast, like super fast, whether it's an amateur or whether it's a pro, it don't matter who it is, as long as they're fast. That's where I got my defense from, just somebody's speed. And then they'll be lighter though. And then the next person I spar is somebody like really heavy with punching power. So now, because what I'll do is I'll sit there and work on my catching my punches and walking forward to push the bigger guy back. So if I could push the bigger guy back, when I get near somebody that's a lot smaller, it's gonna be 10 times easier. I spar big people. Like my last sparring before this fight, the person I was sparring was like 150, I believe. 150 something. He throws a lot of punches too. Big dude.
Well, that's good. Yeah, no, absolutely. Iron sharpens iron. Well, have you sparred with some big? Have you sparred with some bigger names? What are some of the names that you've sparred with? Well-known names. Have you?
Yeah, I sparred a lot of them actually. I'll mention one because he's like somebody that's well known in this area. Beautiful Diaz.
Yes, Christopher Diaz. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Christopher Diaz. I spar with him every so often, and it's amazing work. Like he's very sharp, very sharp.
Well, he's a veteran too. I mean, he's been around. In fact, I think he won. He just won recently, a couple weeks ago. He was at Caribbean Royale. He was watching the fights. I actually got a chance to shake his hand at Caribbean Royale. Exactly. But that's good. Like I said, it's always good to get in there with veteran guys. And I am here with young lightweight sensation Sean Untouchable Mason. Like I alluded to, man, you're in the 135-pound division, man, and right now there's a lot of buzz going around. Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Who do you consider the cream of the crop in this division right now?
Tank is definitely at the top. No matter what anybody says, Tank is at the top. He's the most focused, and he puts on the best performance every fight. A lot of people might say Shakur. I like Shakur. I just think he hasn't developed that that killer instinct. I think that's what he lacks. That killer instinct. Like he's really good, but and everybody even try to say Floyd Mayweather, when Floyd Mayweather was Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, he had killer instinct. If he hurt you, and I think the most dangerous boxer ever to ever step in the ring was Pretty Boy Floyd, but just in this division right now, Shakur Stevenson could be number one if he had the killer instinct. Because he got the skill, the defense, the range, the IQ. He just if he get in there with Tank and he don't try to hurt Tank, Tank will hurt him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Y'all saw
Yeah.
what he did for Frank Martin. Frank Martin had all the skill, but if you're not trying to hurt Tank, Tank will come and hurt you.
That's a great assessment, because that's one of the criticism. First of all, I love Shakur. I mean, he's a gifted fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's boring. I mean, there's a lot of fight fans out there that think he's boring. I mean, again, it's an acquired taste, right? I love the sweet science. So I'll ask you as a fighter, do you think his style is considered boring?
I'm gonna say this. His style and what I like to study is completely different. He likes to just outbox you and outpunch you. I like to watch fighters who go for knockouts. So I'm more of I like to watch people who try to go for knockouts. So I ain't gonna say his style is boring. It's just not for me.
I got you, and that's a great answer, because you hit on something, right? I think that Shakur lacks getting into that second gear.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's got a guy, that realistically he can take out, he's not able to hit the third gear, right? Do you think that's because of how good he is defensively? Like, because the way I'm looking at it, and I'm not a fighter, and that's why I wanted to get your perspective. I'm thinking that sometimes fighters, when they're defensively, when they're so responsible defensively, it's almost like muscle memory. They don't want to take a chance because they're always thinking about what's going to come back. You think that's why?
I don't think that's the case. Like, all right, so and I'll use Floyd as another example. Like the Floyd Mayweather now, he could have stopped Canelo when they fought. After he hit Canelo with the uppercut, he had Canelo buckle. When he hit Cotto with the uppercut, he had Cotto buckle. But Floyd now doesn't have the same hands. He has very brittle hands, and every punch he pretty much throws hurts. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why Floyd didn't keep going for knockouts as he got older. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he's older. He already proved himself. Shakur, on the other hand, I just think Shakur problem is he just wants to embarrass people so bad that he don't care for the knockout. I just think he just likes to just make his fights one-sided and take no punishment. Because and one thing, you're right. Like if you go in there and you try to go for a knockout, you do open yourself up to get countered, or to take unnecessary punches that if you didn't have to take by trying to go for a knockout. It's just he just don't care and that's nothing. He just don't care for knockouts. Like he just don't care. Early in his career, he was stopping these folks. Now he's just like he just said, forget about knockouts. Like I think he would be a lot farther in his career if he would start knocking people out. Because his last 4 or 5 opponents, he could have stopped them easily.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great perspective. And you see, that's why I wanted to ask a professional fighter about their perspective, right? If he fights Tank tomorrow, who would you favor?
Tank, for sure.
Is it because of the power? A lot of people underestimate Tank's boxing ability, though.
Mm-hmm. For me, I would say the power, and the reason being, when I used to study Shakur Stevenson, I noticed after the 6th round, he stops moving his legs and he only does a little lean back. Like every time he throws a jab, he leans back. From round 1 to 6, he moves, but from 6 to 12, he stops doing that. That's one reason why I would say Tank would stop him. And another reason is because of Tank's punching power and willingness to hurt you. Is like, you got to think, if you find somebody that wants to like really hurt you, that's dangerous. If you get near with somebody that don't want to hurt you, then you can survive 12 rounds whether you win or lose. So like if you look at Deontay Wilder, he didn't have no boxing skills, but when he went in that ring, he wanted to hurt you. And what did he do? He hurt you and he knocked you out cold. No skills, 0 skills, all punching power. So for Tank, then like you said, Tank, with the fact Tank has skills and punching power, and he wants to hurt you, and to be honest, I know he's not scared of Shakur's punching power. It just makes the fight already all against Shakur Stevenson. Like just their personalities as fighters, Tank is gonna hurt him. I just say that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. He definitely earned the right to be the favorite going into that fight. Let's have a little fun here. And I know you're young, you're 24 years old, but if you could play promoter and see a little bit into the future, when do you see yourself getting into the title mix or getting a title shot?
So if I'm a promoter, I'm looking at Sean Mason. He got 5 amateur fights. And basically he's building his boxing career in the pros. So he's still very new. But he has those skills, determined. I'll say around 20 fights.
Okay.
Once I get to like 20 fights, probably go for a title shot. Might be before that, but 20 fights for sure.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say before that because you have the skills
Mm-hmm.
to get a shot before that. You're also a very, very entertaining fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's realistic. Past or present, what's your dream fight? It could be a former fighter, it could be a fighter now.
Who I
What
would
is your
fight?
dream? Yeah. Who would you have loved to fight if you had, a dream fight?
I mean, I don't know. So I have like a different perspective. I wouldn't want to fight somebody that I study. Let's put it that way. I
Okay.
wouldn't want to fight Robert Duran. That dude, he's different. Like you see what he does to people. I wouldn't want to fight him. I don't want to go home that night with a headache and I might have black eyes, all type of stuff. But if I had to choose, I would want to fight Deontay Wilder.
Really?
Yeah, because man, I
But you're
don't
not a
nobody.
heavyweight.
I know, but if I could be a heavyweight, I would love to fight him.
Why? That's a answer I totally wasn't expecting. So you got to explain this one.
So basically, like if you think about it, all right, yeah, he don't have no skills and none of that, but when he hits people, it's like it's like it's like it's like instant. It's like an instant win. Like the minute he lands his right hand, and then you got to think you got to be perfect for 12 rounds. He only needs to be perfect one round to beat you. You know what I'm saying? So when you're in there with somebody like him, it's like, dude, your level of focus is going to be so extreme. You're gonna reach a new level mentally when you're in there with him, just because of that one punch knockout power. And that's what's like any other fighters. Like I know, okay, he got punching power, but I can move around, and I don't got to be perfect for 12 rounds. It's like a 50-50 because we both got puncher's chance. Deontay Wilder, he hits you one time, and you done. Like I would put myself in position against him because I know I ask people all the time, when you get knocked out, did you feel it? They be like, no, they just woke up on the floor. If I had to choose from getting brutally beat up from Lomachenko and getting punched a million times and got a headache versus just getting punched one time and getting knocked out, I'd rather go that route. Hit me one time,
Wow.
I'm sleeping, and then I wake up, I little headache, cool. I don't got no black eyes or nothing because when you hit me, I'm done.
That's an excellent perspective, man. Something that I totally didn't see coming, but I love it. I love it, and I think your fans and my viewers are going to love it as well. I know you're a student in the game. You watch other fights, or is like, for example, Saturday night we got a big card. Will you be tuned into that?
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I study boxing because I have to, but I really don't like watching boxing. I don't like watching
Really?
sports. Yeah, it's
Okay.
boring. Like
Wow.
if it's not the mega fights, I don't tune in. Like it got to be a fighter that I know has potential to knock somebody out. So if it's Canelo, Tank, I won't watch a Corey Stevenson. I watch the highlights. If it's Terrence Crawford, um, Illinois, which is one of my favorite studies. Illinois,
Mine as well. Mine as well. Mine as well.
he's a beast. Illinois, and that's pretty much it. Like I have a small select few fighters that I watch nowadays.
Interesting. What about any other sports? Would you watch other sports? Are you a fan of no?
No, I don't watch sports. They boring. I fall asleep when I'm watching sports.
So, which brings me to my next question. When you're not boxing, what is Sean Mason doing on his spare time?
Eating food. I love food. I wanna travel the world and just eat a bunch of food. I love steak, asparagus. I like eating different food that's out there, different culture food. I had some El Salvador food, papusas. I think that's how you say it.
All
Their
right.
food be good. Spanish food. I mean, but we in Florida, we get Spanish food all the time. Just other cultural food. I love food. Food is fun.
Dude, we have something in common there, man, because I love me some food, man. But wow, that's man, you interesting answers, man. Really
Thank you. I
interesting
appreciate it.
answers, man. No, I actually love that. Some great perspective, man. So your boy Crawford, he fights Saturday. So I'm assuming that you're going to tune into that. What do you think happens in that fight? Moving up in weight. He's moving up in weight. 154. He's moving up in weight.
I believe the punching power still beat her because I'll look at me, for example, like I'm fighting at a weight class that I shouldn't be fighting at realistically, and my punching power is still there, and I don't have much experience. Now with Terrence Crawford, he has way more experience than me and the punching power, so I believe it won't change nothing. It's just I think he'll be even stronger because he ain't got to lose weight. He ain't got to lose as much weight as he typically would have to. So I think he'll be stronger. I think he'll actually, since being strong, I think he'll have more punching power. His opponent, I know zero about his opponent. I didn't do no research. I didn't look him up. I honestly didn't even know they was fighting this Saturday.
So his opponent has a very extensive amateur background. Probably about 90 fights or so. Israel Madrimov, yeah. I mean, he's 10-0. So he's the opposite. Most of his experience is amateur compared to pros. He's 10-0. He obviously has the WBA strap. He's a strong, muscular dude. Good footwork, good amateur pedigree, strong guy. But
can he punch?
He can punch. He can punch. And he's probably going to come in as the stronger guy because it's his natural weight. But again, and I tell this to people all the time. I mean, Bud is on another level. So until I see somebody remotely get close to beating Bud, I picked against Bud one time, and that was last year. You saw what happened when he faced Errol Spence. Like, I was totally wrong.
Everybody lost money. I've been saying Bud will beat Spence since before Bud even popped on the scene for real. 2016, 2015, I was saying, man, Bud would beat Spence. I like Spence, but I just knew Bud would beat Spence just for simple fact. Like, Errol Spence style is very basic. Jab, jab, right hand, left hook to the body. Jab, jab. Like, for him is left hook to the body. He's southpaw. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
with Errol Spence, he didn't have nothing that was like a wow factor. Like, he pretty much lost to Shawn Porter until he dropped him with that left hook. I think Shawn Porter was winning the fight easily, but Terrence Crawford, he's a whole different beast. That man could deadlift 400 pounds. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think he used to wrestle too, Terrence Crawford, right? Yeah, I mean, so he's just physically strong. Either way, man, I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a great card. This is the first Riyadh season that Turkey Al-Sheikh and them bring to the United States. It would be nice, man, if one day, man, you could get up in one of those cards, man.
I know.
But personally, man, champ, I think it's only a matter of time before you get a strap, man. I mean, your skill level is absolutely insane, and you're still growing and getting better. One thing I could say about you is you're not basic. You're not a basic fighter. There's a lot of different things that you bring to the table. And one thing I will stress to my viewers is if you haven't seen a Sean Mason fight, make sure you go and check it out or check it out live, man. Because I think the sky's the limit for you. And like I tell this to all the prospects or, young up-and-coming sensational fighters, once they get a title, they better come back and see me, man.
I will.
Come back and visit me again, man, because once you come to the hangout spot, you are family, man. You are always welcome back.
I appreciate that.
But before I let you go, man, let my viewers and let your fans know where they can find you on social media, champ.
So for Facebook, because I'm not on Facebook, but my mom, she does all the posting for Facebook, is T Mason. That's TEEMASON. That's T Mason. And then for Instagram, this is my name, Sean Untouchable Mason, and that's like the only two platforms that I'm on.
That is awesome, man. And listen, if you are, for my viewers, if you are new to watching my videos, make sure you subscribe. This is how we do it up here in the hangout spot. We're going to have up-and-coming fighters, great fighters, interviews, live fight coverage. So make sure you're along for the ride. But, man, champ, like always, this was an absolute pleasure chopping it up with you, man. I appreciate you giving me the time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you too, man. Thank you for inviting me.
No, absolutely. You're always welcome back, man. And for my viewers, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. This is your boy Johnny signing out with lightweight sensation, Sean Untouchable Mason, and I will talk to everybody soon.
See you. Thank you.